All right, let us get back to working on Surmont just a little bit more. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that Theta star and have some visible results. Shouldn't be that far from it. So there was a little bug there somewhere and it wasn't working. So let's take a look at that. Yeah. So maybe I should talk a little bit about kind of this idea broader. So my two main inspirations, at least right now, it might kind of change, but right now I am playing a lot of Kenshi and I'm reading a lot of Jack Vance. And I gotta say, the synergy of the two, like I noticed that the most today. I'm reading the Dying Earth, Tales of the Dying Earth, and I just finished the second one, The Eyes of the Overworld, about Kajal. And I gotta say, the ending is like, it's like something you would do in Kenshi. I guess I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically like, the guy like went into another, I'm gonna talk in Kenshi terms. The guy went into another guy's base, basically like entrapped him in like a cage in Kenshi terms, and then started like training based on the material that was there. And it's like he spent months doing that. And I'm like, this is literally something you would do in Kenshi. You'll just like, I mean, maybe not exactly, but yeah. So I'm kind of thinking that this is, at least in my head right now, this is what this is coming to. Is that it's going to be very like Kenshi meets Jack Vance type of thing. It won't really be that much on the kind of post-apocalyptic stuff. I think it will be, but I will pretty much not be hinting at any sort of you know, kind of the past where it's like, you know, our present is kind of the past. You know, I won't really be doing that. It will pretty much be pure fantasy, but I do want it to be like a very long kind of lasting world. Maybe even in some sense post-apocalyptic, but like isolated to that world, not like in the terms of our world, right? So that's the idea. And in terms of mechanics, I think it's going to be kind of like Kenshi, but I don't know. I want to kind of do less of, I guess, I don't know. I'm just trying to like put everything in here, right? It's kind of trying to kind of maybe do stuff broader than Kenshi did. And of course, here on my side, I have the fidelity of the game, which is so low that will allow me to do a lot of things where, you know, Kenshi has to like look a certain way and stuff like that. Here, well, this is the look, at least for now. Later, maybe it can get some kind of tiles and stuff like that. But I want the writing and the mechanics and all of that to be focused on this and kind of spring from this kind of material right here. So yeah, and I think it won't really be as much squad based. You'll probably be controlling one guy, although I'm not sure. That's kind of where I started from when I was thinking of this project. But now, I don't know, I think about it more and more, and maybe it will still have some squads. But at the very least, I want to separate this like faction stuff from the squad stuff. So it's like, because I feel like in Kenshi, you never reach that, you know, the potential, or I guess the conceit, the promise that you get of like, oh, make your own faction, right? Because I mean, okay, in base Kenshi you can do like 30 people, right? Well, what kind of faction is that with 30 people? And of course, I feel like you can't make it really squad based and make that that big. Like, it's just unmanageable, honestly. Even if kind of the technicals of it allowed it, it will just be unmanageable. So I kind of want to separate that. So the squad stuff, yeah, okay, maybe we can have squad stuff, but it will be a small-ish squad, like maybe 10 people max or something like that. But long term, you have your own faction, and that one can be like many, many people, thousands, millions, billions, right? If we can fit that, maybe even trillions. So yeah, and it's like from that faction you pick out a squad, let's say, right? Something along those lines. But also I want it to be kind of about adventuring on your own, kind of like you can do it in Kenshi, but I feel like Kenshi a lot of the times becomes more about leveling, mechanics, stuff like that. And here I kind of want to bring, you know, almost like Morrowind type of thing, where you would just like go on an adventure, or I don't know, maybe Oblivion, yeah, stuff like that. So it can be a little, it can be a little bit more about like role playing and stuff like that. But okay, I'm getting really carried away. So yeah, this is the crash that we had. Let's just get back to it. So okay, yes, we are in this while loop, right? And not getting out of it. So we got parents, and we basically, our current node is 0 and it's giving parents 0. I mean, clearly just the whole thing is just wrong. We should kind of maybe start from the top and debug more of the process of getting this. So let's maybe get a nice generation where we're not in the wall and hit a breakpoint right here and just ask for a path. All right. Just cover the basics. We got from, we got to. Makes sense. Open set, parents, blah, blah, blah. Visited, now visited is zeroed, right? Yep. Oh, what did I just press? Please bring me back Visual Studio. All right. So at this point we have prepared the data. We have open set with one item. Right, we get that item, we remove it from set, and we set visited for that item. So our node I is 2025. Oops, what am I doing? Visited at node I is 1, and like, just to double check, at +1 is 0. Okay, great. Okay, let's just get our neighbors. Take a look at our neighbors. We got 3 neighbors. Does that make sense? Yeah, we can only walk in cardinal directions now. Okay. Costs are all 10. That makes sense. And the nodes themselves are to my left, to my up, and to my down. Wait, that is 25, 21. Oh, I'm not looking the right one. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Looking at the neighbor is not visited. Let's update the node. So I said line of sight is true everywhere. Well, there's our problem. the parent of me is 0. I'm nobody, right? This is the first node in the path. So, oh my god. Yeah, so I set the parent to 0. Set the parent to 0. So now the parent of neighbor I is going to be 0. Like actual 0 index. So parents of 2024 is 0. So what that means is if I tried to trace back my path, I would inevitably encounter that 0, and then the parent of 0 gives me 0, so we're stuck in that loop. Okay, so then the solution is clear-ish. And I just want to see something, right? I want to just see something. So I think what I'll do, actually, is say, this is so janky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's just do it in the end. I'm just going to take the index of from first node, and then say if line of sight and node I is not equal to first node, just very temporarily. So first node here, I'll just say from I. Let's call it start I for some reason. And then the first node should be correct, and we'll all be like pointing to that first node. Everything will be collapsed to that first node. That's what I expect. Let's take a look. That's correct. That's correct. Right? So we can see now, like, what happens is that we collapse the whole path. Like, we find probably something like that, but each node we keep collapsing to the beginning, and then we just get straight line. So that's exactly what I expected. So that's good. That's good. So there was no issue with the algorithm. There was actually an issue with testing it in an unfinished state. So let's undo all this. Let's undo on this. But I guess it's good to do this, right? Like, it's good to make sure incrementally that there's no errors. Okay, so we need line of sight. We need line of sight. So there's going to be that Bresenham tracing and like DDA or whatever. Let me just find that pseudocode again. So I'm just looking at this and I'm trying to understand whether it's possible to use this with floats. And I don't think it is, because, for example, here we compare to the end, and that kind of makes it complicated. Let me also find the pseudocode. There was one on the rogue basin. I think it's the same, it's just that it does a bunch of like optimization stuff to make it quicker, which I don't really care about. I think, yeah, let's just do this. Let's see. Let's just literally copy it, not overthink it. So let's start with that. From that x, right? Y0 is equal to from that y. Then we got x1. That's going to be 2.x, and y1 is 2.y. Then we have dx and dy. That's going to be abs I32, is that right? Abs, yep. Abs 32. X1 minus x0, and dy is going to be negative abs I32 y1 minus y0. And then we have these signs, right? And that the other one had this stuff for that, which is actually pretty cool. But I don't want to do that weird shit. I'll like it's all gonna come later. Like most likely there's a lot of other shit to optimize. Besides this, so I don't know, let's just do it the human way, right? So we got -1, and then if x0 is less than x1, then the sign of x is positive, and if y0 is less than y1, then the sign of y is also positive. Starting to program in JavaScript or something. So we got our error, I think that's what it is. Dx plus dy while true. Right, so we need to basically query our map, whether that, or our level, whether that tile is blocked. Is tile blocked? Level, right? And we got our x0 and y0. Let's take a look that that's the right function. Is tile blocked? Yep. So if it is blocked, I guess this function could also do some bound checking here, but I think actually xy dx asserts for what is that here? Oh, it doesn't assert. Oops, doesn't assert. Yeah, let's just assert the same ways here, just for dev build. Wait, did I say levels level? Okay, so if tile is blocked, then we return false, right? So there's no line of sight. This is so easy to convert this. I don't have to use my brain. But that's not good, because if there's a problem, I'm kind of gonna be fucked. x0, x1, and so if we reach the end, then we are done, right? I32 E2 equals to 2 times E, so that's that. And if our E2 is greater than dy, then we do one thing. If else, so if E2 is less or equal to dx, and we also do that. So here, if we reach the right x coordinate, we return true. Because I guess we were already so we increase our error and we add 1, right, which is just going to be the sign, so it's 1 or minus 1. And then here I'm saying if y0 equals to y1, then we return true, and e plus equal dx and y0 plus equals sy. Right? And I mean, I walked through it in my head before, so I'm not that worried about trying to understand it. But if this doesn't work, we'll have to. So maybe it's good if it doesn't work. Yeah, so this actually should literally be just testable now. Because I removed that shit, and this should give us stuff. And also we are only working in integers still, so it should be fine. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. Look at that. That's nice. That is nice. That is so nice. Super nice. Super nice. Super nice. All right, so I would like to do a couple of things just out of interest, honestly. I want to log here. How do I do this? I want to maybe like this. Let's have a global var int set max in set. Zero. Max and set 0. So basically every time I add, or no, I have set count, right? So I can just do, when I add, I say if, after I added. Also, it would be good to, what's the, no. What's the, yeah, it's this. Yeah, I forgot to do it and then I remembered and then I forgot again. Let's just assert that our count here is less than that, right? So it's like if we have 1024 items and we are at 1023, we can add another one at 1023, then it'll increase, and then the next one will assert. Yep. So we can assert that, and then let's do trace log. Trace log max in set. No, we're not doing it. Here we're not trace logging. Here I'm setting it, right? So max in set equals to this, but only if this is greater than max in set. Okay, and then before we enter this algorithm, or right at the start, we reset it to 0, and in the end, I just do trace log and say finished path. D path nodes, D max open set, and then let's do result.count and max in set. Okay. What is that? Node count. Potentially uninitialized. Right. Okay, let's do that. I don't care about that found path. Although, and maybe this will be good later. Also, like if I run out of max open set, maybe don't assert. Just going to be helpful now. But also like end the algorithm and say no path found. But yeah, I guess like when that assert hits, that's when I'll do it. And English is so hard. Okay, so trace log that node count only if path is found. Cool. So let's see this. Oh god. Okay, 927. And if I go like all the way here, 2756, really? That's pretty small. I mean, I guess it's not a long path. I want to be able to like set multiple targets and make it go through them. Yeah. That's not bad. So could we say that that's the number of times we ran the... No, we couldn't. That's max. You know what I also want to count is just number of nodes that we even looked at in total. So I think we could count that here every time we get a node. Let's just do this. Global var int. And man, it would be so good to actually do proper debug facilities for this. I will definitely do it, 100%. But for now, like I'll just do this, look at it, just out of interest, and delete it. This is not real debugging, like long term. So Maxon said, and this is nodes pop. Oops. Let's say poop. Okay, nodes pop. We can increase that here every time we return the least node. Let's do nodes pop. And then here, let us reset it to 0 and also log it. The nodes looked at. Let's take a look. 3,000. Oh wow, that's crazy. Cool. I guess I could also do... Oh, that would be actually a cool kind of world gen thing. Is just do like a labyrinth. Crazy maze. To like stress test pathfinding. Where it's like, it would literally be like boom, 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 all over the place to reach like the very end here. That would be pretty interesting. Alright, so that's good. That's good. I'm satisfied. Let's just get rid of this shit. All of this, all of this, all of this. Including nodes pooped. So yeah, this is awesome. I'm especially proud of my line drawing. Impeccable line drawing. Okay. Anything else that I'm missing? What do I want to do next? I want to start moving again. Ah, of course, the one other issue was to like actually properly move to our float target. It's gonna be kind of annoying. Where am I? Entity.cpp. Cross character orders. Sure. Oof. That does not look even remotely right. I wonder why that happened now though. I don't think anything I changed could have caused that. So maybe there is some bug. Okay, our DY is crazy. What's our... Do we recalculate? Yes, we do, so okay. Okay, our E is crazy. No, we don't change DY, so DY was crazy from the start. Why is it crazy? What's our from? Oh. From is that. Okay, who's passing that? That is apparently our parent. parent is parents at node I. Okay. But node I looks awfully familiar. It looks like it's our start node. So it's something with that. Did I just delete something important? So it's getting the parent of the first node. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? I think I kind of get it. I'm not sure why it didn't pop up before. Maybe I was actually... It's just that I added assert just now. I don't remember if I tried it with the assert in here. It's style blocked, right? But yeah, the problem is that I'm checking for the first neighbor of the first node, right? And obviously the first node has no parent, so there's just junk there. Right, so it's trying to calculate line of sight between junk and the first neighbor, right? So I think the simple way to resolve this, to kind of avoid, you know, this ugly passing around whether it's the first node or not, is to just initialize the first parent, right? So we can do parents at start I equals to -1, and it's an int, so we can do this little sentinel -1. Right, so here let's only do line of sight if parent, which is an index, right? No, that's the v2i. So I already do idx xy of this guy, parents node I. Wait, what am I looking at? No, that's right. I thought I needed to put it in line of sight for a second. Okay, so what I need to do is actually already here, is that after this, if parents node I is equal to -1, let's just return. Right? And that should be good enough. We're in the wall, which makes sense. Before it worked because we didn't do line of sight, but now it can't do line of sight out of the wall, I'm pretty sure. Alright, there we go. And we do not have any path. Amazing. So let's hold the mouse and press B. I need to go into update entities. Ah, fuck. Okay, go here again. Press, ah, fuck! What is wrong with me? I'm still getting used to my crazy keyboard bindings, where like all the function keys are and stuff. So that's why I'm so slow. Okay. Yes, we finally come to the place. Let's just run here. Let's take a look at the neighbors. That's cool. Oh, wait a second. Did I do something really stupid? Oh yeah, big time. It's not retard. Don't retard. Don't retard. Okay, the reason I did it is because I do this idx to xy, but actually I can just put it in here. Like, I don't need parent for anything else, right? Parent to set we do have. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Parents, no. Ah, fuck. Okay, fuck it. Let's just do this again here. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's kind of... Oh, that's bad. That's kind of bad. Okay, no, actually, maybe if I do the float stuff correctly, it will be fine. Or maybe not. Because, like, it's kind of distracting right now, the line. So let's not draw it and let's just see. Oops. Let's see what that looks like. Entity.cpp. LX0. Oh, it's interesting that it paths out of the wall. But yeah, like if we look at him carefully, we see that he's like jittering all over the place as he's walking. Like not here, that this is expected, because we're not stopping movement as we should. But here we can see like he's constantly changing direction as he's moving, as he's recalculating the path. So it's a little bit janky, and I did not foresee that. I think it could just be resolved by like caching the path and not recalculating it as we go, which I do think would be necessary to do either way. But wow, like if you kind of close your eyes on this jank, it actually looks pretty cool. It's like he's so smart, just cutting all corners and finding good paths. Okay, that was something. That was actually an interesting one. Right? It's like he's here and then... Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. It's just a little bit undecisive. So I'm just going to voice a little idea I have for caching and like invalidation of that path. And I don't know if it'll work exactly, there's some caveats, but basically when movement is ordered, we calculate the path once. We calculate the path once and store it as part of that movement order. But then every frame, we just run the Bresenham algorithm to the first target in the path. And if it's good, the path will be still good. And we'll just run that one line tracing for every next target. So as soon as we reach that first target, we'll start doing it for the next one. Then of course, if something happens on the path, I don't know, maybe like environment is more dynamic, and I don't know, there's like some kind of cave in, right? So a whole room gets blocked, so you can't really walk through that room, but you can walk through another room, right? It'll still lead you to that first room. And I guess at some point, it'll realize that it can't do that path anymore when it reaches a target that will start going through that room. But maybe you could have taken a way better path. Like maybe going there leads you to some kind of dead end, and then you have to like trace all the way back and like, you know what I mean? If it calculated this path continuously, it would have realized that way sooner. But here's the next thing I'm thinking. Maybe you recalculate the path every time you reach a target. So you don't recalculate, or before you reach the target, you just do that one line check whether you can reach your target, but then recalculate the whole path from the next target. So then what that means is once we picked a target, as long as that target is in line of sight, we will continue walking to it. And I guess that might still lead to some stuff where, well, you should have been recalculating all the way, you know, before you reach that target. Like maybe it's a very long straight line, and then you walked all the way there to that target, and only once you reach that target you realize, oh shit, I should have been going a whole different way, right? So I think that's fine. I mean, even in Kenshi, right? Like that happens all the time. The guy just runs somewhere, and only until he reaches that point he realizes, oh, I should have been going the other way. Like I think in Kenshi it's way worse than what I'm describing. It's like it does that all the time. It's not even about dynamic terrain at that point. Probably something about how it loads chunks of the world and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so how complicated is this? How complicated is this? Could I do this in the next 10 minutes or no? The other thing is doing that, like at the very least, reaching the actual target that I clicked, not the tile approximation of it. And also like ending the movement here. Like if we reach the end, or wait, this is drawing. Like here, as we had this before, we need to see that we actually did reach the target. I don't know, to be honest, I just don't want to do that. I would rather do the caching, but I wonder if I should do this first because that might affect caching. There's also the cleanup here because I'm pretty sure this is not right. That it goes to the first, not 0th. Reconstruct. So we do include from I, which will be last actually. Wait, what the hell am I even doing here? I'm increasing the count? I think this is wrong, right? I counted here. The result index is correct, but the path count in the end will be incorrect. It will be double. So I think this is not even needed. Am I missing something? No, I think yeah, no, because result index is based on the count, so no, that was incorrect. Okay, so here I wanna not... Wait, I already don't save from I. You know what, let's look at the path, or at a path. Wait, Visual Studio closed all of my tabs for debugging. Oh no, they only pop up in debugging. Okay, yeah, breakpoint. Let's take a look. So we're going from to 2, and our result will be something. Oh, we didn't populate it yet. Okay, so our path, which has 3 nodes. Okay, it includes from and to. Oh, you know what? Actually, the float stuff is not as bad as I thought. I thought I had to like change everything to be in floats, but I only need to do that in the result. I also found this, which is unrelated at all to my previous concern. But apparently this is a different algorithm that should work in float space, and in general it's like simpler. So I'm gonna go through it sometime later, and probably, yeah, like wrapping up now, and then over the weekend, because I do want the volumes. Like, this is not about the float stuff that I was thinking about, although it might also help with that. But mostly I want that line of sight that I mentioned before. this stuff, right? Where I want to account for like a circle of an entity. Because I think I even forgot to mention it now. Okay, I guess I can show it. But basically I saw that already a line even actually crosses into a tile sometimes. Because I guess the way the algorithm works, it kind of picks the other, like it's still, the line is still able to like touch upon that other tile that is not blocked. And I want to, I don't want to like clip the walls basically. So yeah. But so in regards to the path, so I think we can just get rid of 0, right? Get rid of the starting node and don't go there. I mean, we already skip it when we are walking. But yeah, I can get rid of that. I'm just wondering whether I like straight up can just make these float vectors and replace the last node with the actual target. I mean, it will obviously cause this line to possibly be wrong. But I wonder if it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. So maybe get rid of the first, make everything floats, and replace the last one with the actual target in floats. To be quite honest, I don't even understand how from I gets saved here, because we stop the loop as soon as it's equal to from I, right? So we like save into path current node, then we set current node to be the parent of the current node, and we check the while loop. So as soon as it's from I, it will exit. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I'm so dumb. It's literally right here. Literally, I purposefully do this. Okay, so let's not do this. We'll still assert this, but we'll start this from 0, so it will be 1 less. The count, it will exclude from. Right? And after that, the last thing I'll want to do, and I'll make this function even uglier, I'll actually take 2 as a float vector. And then here, result path at path node count minus 1, I'll make equal to 2. And then of course, I'm just assuming that I'm going to be changing it to floats in the result. So let me just double check something. Let me see, v2. Do we have a v2 constructor that takes v2i? No. Might as well make one. So I just need this. And we'll take, whoa, lagging, v2i_v, and then the result will be v.x, v.y. I wonder if the compiler will complain. Yes, it will. Okay. So now I can just simply wrap this in this. Okay. I'll replace the last one with the actual 2. I kind of hate that I called it 2. I think I'll take some time without recording to just clean this up and, you know, make some stuff a little more logical, because honestly I get carried away when I'm recording and it's hard to like it's hard to really deeply think about stuff, to be honest. What am I doing? Okay, so I need the float 2 in the reconstruct path, and then of course in the actual struct this needs to become v2, and then this should cast to v2 pointer. What do you want? What do you want? V2, oh yeah, I call this actually 2f, right? In the argument, yep. Maybe I should call it that here as well in reconstruct path. Just to make the intent clear. Actually, let's take a look. What's our path node count? 2. So we did 0 and 1 in our result. Oh, right, because I actually add the 0th one now, so it's just wrong assert. The assert should assert that it's -1 now. I really should fix the world gen. What the fuck did you just do? Jesus Christ. Okay, that's not good. Let's draw the path again. What do you want? It'll be the same pretty much. Still need to multiply by tile width. Okay, I think it's just something that just fucked up. Very clearly. Oh, you know what it is. I'm still only walking to character order. Process. Yep. Yeah, this should be path to 0 because we don't have the current position in there now. I think that was it. It's just like, I think as it was, it's always reconstructing the path right now, right? So what happened, I think, is it told it to like move the wrong direction, to like go directly to the target through the wall, and it did, but then it's like, as it's recalculating the path, when it's like in here, the line algorithm does some weird shit. So I think, what am I testing now? I think I'm testing that it actually gets to the mouse position. It does, but then it does this weird stuff because we don't stop moving. So I think that's right. Oh, I guess if we want to visualize this properly now, we should draw from player's position to the first target, the first node. Okay, so I think it's probably good for now. I mean, I have more time, but I am already at 1 hour and 5 minutes of recording. How bad could it be to do this, to do caching? I mean, for now, there is no actual, like, there's nothing that could change the path as you're moving. I'm also thinking about this, that maybe because I'm not doing diagonals now and it kind of like collapses the path, right? Maybe that's what causes the path to actually be not determinate as you're moving through it. But maybe it would have changed anyways. Was it? I don't remember when I was testing it before without Theta star. I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was still changing. Yeah. So that's fine. That's fine, I think. So I just need to calculate this path only once, and I'll do that right now. But I will not do the check. I will not do the check, not be checking the path as I was mentioning before. It'll just move, even if something appears in the way, it'll just move. So I think when I do order entity movement, which I believe is still the main way. Yeah, if I look at sermon.cpp, that's what I do on right mouse, order entity movement. Yep. So in that case, let's move this stuff to there. So let's actually here move entity, right? We have path, we'll have E brain that path. Let's just do this now. Path pointer path equals to this guy, and then here we can just do path. And here we check that, well, I guess we don't have to check because we'll check when we order movement. Right, and as for this other stuff, we'll just copy the whole, oh my god. Just copy this whole thing. And let's just say the spot and go to recons, no, what's saying, order entity movement. So here we just want to do this. We calculate the path, we freeze the arena, calculate the path, and we say if path.found, then we do stuff. We say that movement was ordered, and we save our path. I guess we can save the target as well. even though we don't really need it now. We can save the path in the brain as well. Path equals path. And we don't need this stuff. Close the if, and then unfreeze the arena. Right, and if path was not found, then you just don't order movement. So that to do, I guess, is done, basically. Right? And then if I go back, I don't need this stuff, and I don't need this stuff. The only thing I'm wondering, okay, no, there's a problem now. And that's the fact that we're always going to be walking to the first target. We need to like go through the targets. Which I think maybe I can just recalculate the path now. So we have our path. We move the entity to the target. Move entity will actually know that we reached the target, and then when we reach this target, we just do e-brain.path, and we do all of this again. But the other thing is to end the movement. But let's say we don't. Let's just say we do this only. Will this work, at least in some way? Okay, we got a bunch of problems. I guess order entity movement. We might as well take the whole entity store pointer. And then here let's pass the pointer to this. Right. So that should be now part of the brain. All right. We need the path. Does path depend on entity? No. Oh, I already have navigation here. Okay, cool. So let's just do nav path right here. Oops. And then of course here we also need the store. target. What is that? Oh yeah, I don't need to do that. Let's see. Is it frozen or no? No. Let's see. So path is not found here. Path not found. What is the movement target? 0. Oh, right. Well, we don't quite want to do that. We just want to take the target. Just let me witness. I don't know, it's still doing weird shit. I think another issue is actually that sometimes it doesn't quite get the right line until it's like at the right kind of angle. So it changes actual targets. Like it reaches a smaller target. No, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Like it did change the path a bunch of times there. And like here you can actually see that like I don't know. There's it's pretty far from perfection. So I think that's it for today, and then I'll fix all these problems later and it'll be perfect. So that's it for today. Peace.